For more on this, we're now joined by Professor Bheki Mngomezulu. He's the director of the Center for the Advancement of Non-Racialism and Democracy at Nelson Mandela University, and he joins us via our video link. Professor, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. One would say that a few months ago we heard the former Secretary-General of the ANC, Mr. Magashule, saying that he will die ANC. Clearly he has changed his tune.
Simbali, politicians have a way of doing things. What they say is not necessarily as important as what they do. You will hear people saying today they will kill for Zuma, and then tomorrow they are on the other side of the political divide. So these things happen every day. I didn't take it seriously at the time because, of course, it's clear that Magashule had faced a number of challenges in the ANC. But maybe on a serious note, Magashule was not properly treated in the ANC. That one is a fact. People can deny it, it's fine, but that is a fact. And I'm saying this because he was suspended as the Secretary-General of the party, but he was never suspended as the member of the ANC. And then all of a sudden, he was given 7 days within which he had to explain why he should not be expelled, not to be suspended, but to be expelled. So that was an abnormality. And at the time, I remember very well saying that even if he responds, it doesn't really matter because the decision has already been taken. So it's a fact that he was not treated well. But then if I were to advise him, I would have said he mustn't form a political party immediately because people are going to say that he's doing that out of disgruntlement, which is the same thing that happened with Cope in 2009. And normally, if you form a party under those circumstances, it might survive the first election, and then in the second election, it will start going down. Because there are people who are going to join you, and then you will think that they are with you, only to find that actually they are either angry as you are, or they are joining your party because they are hoping to get positions. The moment you finalize the party list, they will fall down one by one, and then you'll be left stranded. So that is the fear that I have, because honestly speaking, Magashule has played a role in the politics of this country, and I would not have wanted him to be expelled in the ANC in the manner it happened.
Many South Africans are actually quite surprised that he actually started a new movement instead of joining the likes of the EFF, in which we had seen him with for the past couple of months. At the same time, there was speculation that the party in which Carl Niehaus started, the Areta movement, it would be a home for the former SG of the ANC. Are you surprised he took this route?
In fact, as I said, I'm surprised that he formed a political party. I would not have expected him to form one. At least if he joined the one formed by Carl Niehaus, then it would have made sense to me, because in any case, they've been working together. When former President Jacob Zuma was ostracized by the same organization, and then, of course, he was taken this side and that side, Magashule is amongst those who stood by him, and then the likes of Supra Mahomapelo, they stood by him, Carl Niehaus stood by him. So they were basically singing from the same hymn book. So it would have made a sense then for him to join the party that has been formed by, or the organization that has been formed by Carl Niehaus. But honestly speaking, I would not have advised him to form a new political party or to join another political party for that matter. I remember the point we were making when people were making speculations that he might join the EFF. I'm one of the people who said, no, it wouldn't be a wise move because of a number of reasons. Then, of course, he didn't do that and then decided to form a party, which then is the reason why people are surprised. But I don't know why they are surprised, because he has no home in the ANC. He was not suspended in the ANC. He was expelled. So it means there is no hope of him coming back anytime soon, even if for example, there might be 1 or 2 people who want him back. The majority of them have already decided, because at the broader scheme of things, the idea is to kill the RT faction, that's all. We can come up with all stories, but that is basically what is happening.
When you look at the political climate in our country, we have the independent candidates as well who will be contesting for the national elections next year. And we have a number of new parties which mushroomed, when we look at, the upcoming elections. Do you think that this was a well thought through strategy from Magashule? Do you think that there's a place for a political party like his? Does he have a following? One is even asking, why didn't he launch this party in the Free State?
No, for him to launch the party in Soweto was a good move. You don't necessarily want to create the impression that you want to be a localized political party. At this time, day and age, you don't want to do that. You want to have a party that will have footprints across the country. And you already know that you have support in the Free State. You know that you have support in other places. But then go to a place like Gauteng, where you know that the ANC has a strong support, and then make a signature and then say, I am here and I'm going to contest you. The same people that have been rallying people with, but now this time around I will be contesting against you. So, there is nothing wrong with that. I can't fault him on that one. I would have done the same too. You can't launch a political party in your home base because we are sending wrong signals, basically.
When we look at another breakaway party for the ANC, one would ask, should the ANC be worried, when it comes to their support base come next year? We've been told on numerous occasions by experts that they may dip below 50%. Should the ANC be worried about this party?
No, the ANC has all the reasons to be worried, because all the political parties were referring to, the one formed by Kalni House and then now this one formed by Ace Magashule. There are many others, and they are all taking part of the ANC, which therefore means that even though the ANC has representation in all 9 provinces, but then the more it loses people who have been diehard supporters of the party, then the more it stands, the more it faces the risk of not making the 50+1 threshold. Because the reality is that most of these people who have been supporting the ANC and have been, in fact, senior members of the ANC, they do have their own following. It might not be at the extent that the ANC has, but the reality is they do have a following. So if 10 members are moving out and then 15 members are moving out, 10 members are moving out, all of them are reducing the number of people from the ANC. Let alone the fact that other people who are not necessarily members of the ANC, but who have been voting for the ANC since 1994, they might in fact join some of these smaller parties, which will then also disadvantage the ANC. So therefore, it's a fact that come 2024, we might then have no party that meets the 50+1 threshold. Yeah. But the ANC will still, of course, have an edge over other political parties for the reason I've stated earlier on, that it has representation in all 9 provinces, whereas with the other political parties, they are strong in 1 or 2 provinces and they are almost non-existent in other provinces. So that is the only difference. But the ANC support is indeed going down, both from the membership and from those who have been supporting the party without necessarily being members of the organization.
Prof, thank you so much for your time here on the Late Edition. That is Professor Bheki Mngomezulu, a political analyst there from the Nelson Mandela University.